and I will be playing Louisa Adams. I've been performing since I was 14 years old when I was in a production of Fiddler on the Roof for my high school, and I've been doing it ever since, really, in some sort of way, whether I've been performing or working backstage. I've been involved in theater, these past, that would be 31 years, I've been involved in theater in various ways. My favorite role I ever played was probably Sonya Walsk in a two-person show. They're playing our song. The version we just did it as a two-person show, and so it was a lot of work. I had to carry half the show, but I loved her spirit. She was very quirky, she was sort of strange, and she had a lot of great songs, and so I really enjoyed being in that. My bucket list show, I would have said when I was younger, I really wanted to be Martha in The Secret Garden, which is one of my favorite books of all time and also one of my favorite musicals of all time. Now, I would say probably Dolly. I'm getting up in years now, and maybe in another 10 or so, I will be of the appropriate age to play Dolly Levi, and so that would be my next bucket list role. When I'm not on stage, you can find me teaching English at St. Paul High School. You could find me directing plays, running lights or plays, reading books. I read a lot of books, singing in my car or in my shower or in my yard. I love to sing, and so those are all sort of the things you would see me doing when I'm not on stage. Now, my character, Louisa Adams, she is an intelligent but anxious woman, basically, and she suffered quite a bit from a number of ailments throughout her life. I think, again, we would say today she would have been diagnosed with anxiety. A lot of times there didn't seem to be a physical reason for her taking to her bed, but she definitely seemed overwhelmed. But at other times, she was super strong. Like, she crossed from St. Petersburg to Paris with her child son and, servants that kept quitting on her. And she eventually made it there just pretending to be Napoleon's sister and crossed that whole way in a carriage while her husband was waiting for her in Paris, basically. So she had some really amazing, heroic moments in her life, but also a lot of suffering, many miscarriages. And so that will take a toll on a person for sure. What have I done to prepare for this role? Well, when I first read the play, it's like I could hear her voice in my head, and I thought, I think I want to play this woman. I hadn't really thought much about her until I read the play, because I think she and John Quincy both get overshadowed a lot by Abigail and John, who are the more popular and more famous, first couple from the Adams family. But having read now 2 biographies of hers and having read the play, I really, have come to appreciate her as a historical figure. And I actually learned a lot about John Quincy Adams as well, and really admire how he, worked really hard to end slavery after he left the presidency and returned to Congress, which nowadays, of course, would be unheard of. You would never see a president go back and serve in Congress after serving as president of the United States. So I think that's really kind of amazing that he did that after his term was over. All right, what's my next question? Oh, have I ever had a role this big? Well, I mentioned Sonya Walsk. That was a really big role, and so I had to learn, a lot of lines, a lot of songs. I also played Esther in Meet Me in St. Louis, so that was a really big part. That was the first big role I had where I was pretty much on stage the whole play. But I will say this play perhaps has more lines than I've ever had to learn before at once, because the other 2 big roles I had were musicals, and so although I had to learn songs, not a lot of big speeches like I did for this play. And let's see, what's my next question? Oh, what did I do to prepare? Well, I already mentioned I read a couple of biographies, and I also read aloud the script a lot so that I could hear that voice in my head, and I just wanted to sort of work on, what that voice would sound like aloud. So hopefully I do her justice, and hopefully everybody really enjoys the play. Thank you.